Hi, everybody. This is Cat Day, and we are here with Pricilia Kinsley on SPM TV. We have Corby Dayhoff and Garret also joining in. And Priscilla, tell me, what age did you get started in pool?
I actually started about a year and a half ago, so I was 14. Um, I started in the JIC, so that's what kind
What,
of got me going.
what drew you to pool?
Well, my mom has played probably 11 years now,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of thought it was annoying because I had to stay in a pool hall and do my homework, so I didn't like it. But as I got older, I started to understand the game, and it kind of caught my eye, so I tried it out.
What attracted you to the game? Was it the sound of the color of the balls and the clicking sounds, or?
Well, I've played sports my whole life and I'm kind of a natural athlete. So when something I'm not good at comes at me, which was pool, I wasn't very good at it to start out with. So it caught my eye and I kept on trying to get better and better.
Who's coached you along the way?
Well, I've had 2 lessons with Jeremy Jones, and that's kind of been my biggest help because I went from a robot to more of a smooth stroker. And so I've just been getting little tips and tricks from him.
Right. Well, you did pretty good at the GIC. You placed third.
Yeah, I did.
That's great. And
Thank you.
what advice do you have to juniors starting out in the game?
If you get beat down, don't take it personally because those people have been playing probably a lot longer than you have. So just take motivation from all your losses. And if you lose 7-0, make sure next time you get a game and you practice hard and you work hard.
That's good advice. What is your workout and practice regimen?
Recently I've been trying to get at least 4 hours a day. And along with practicing pool, I've been trying to keep my body in shape as well. So that way I can last that long. So,
Yeah, pool is actually a very enduring sport. You're on your feet for a lot of time, and you've got a lot of hot lights at you, and a lot of external sound, and a lot of external noises and stuff like that that you have to focus on and try and keep your mind at the task at hand, the game at hand. So endurance is very, very important in the game.
yes, I've been,
Go ahead, Priscilla.
sorry, I've been running about like 30 minutes to an hour every day before and after the pool, and it's helped me a lot.
How do you?
Just a second, Kathy. What about muscle? Muscle. Remember
Yeah.
muscle?
What do you do for your mental game?
Um, I don't really know. It kind of just came to me, but a lot of times, like before, when I first started out, I was playing with people and I asked them, I was like, when I shoot, I need you to shark me. So then I just kept on asking them for probably like 3 months. And then after those 3 months ended, I kind of got used to sharking. And so I just block it out now. So
That's great.
How did you first get involved with the JIC?
So my home pool hall is the Wolfston, and Corey Wolford and Trina Wolford, and then their daughter, Savannah Wolford, and their son, Shane Wolford. They all kind of saw me just sitting there, and then I got on a table and I started shooting, and they were like, hey, you should come play in this JIC. So I looked at it. I was just about to say no because I was like, I'm not good at pool. I don't really have a love for it. But I made a decision to skip like 2 days of school and go to pool. And after I did it, I just fell in love. So
That's great. Are you also involved in the BEF real strongly?
Yes. This past year was my first year, and I ended up taking the 16U girls title home. So
That's
great.
yeah.
Corby.
What is the next set of adventures that you're going to take on in the industry outside of just playing?
I'm trying to get into more women's events, like trying to find tournaments that April Larson and Kristina Tkach are in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to zone away from the juniors and start to get into the female, like professional women. I think it'll help me with my game, and it'll also help me with keeping my cool when I'm playing people that are much better than me.
Yeah.
So.
Why don't you tell me about your sponsors?
Oh, yes. So my first ever sponsor was the Wolfston, and they've been amazing. They've supported me. They've taken me to tournaments, which is amazing. And then my second sponsor that I got was Premier Billiards. Rick Sinclair owns it, and he's been very, very helpful. He's helped me out with tournament fees and all that. And my last sponsor is Predator, which I felt very honored getting onto that team because I've been playing, I think, 8 months at that point. So I was like,
That's incredible.
Yeah. I was like, this is such a big opportunity. So I've never taken it for granted, and they've been very helpful.
That's super cool. What do you see coming in the future for female in pool as you progress from the junior stage into the adult platform?
I think that as me, along with all the other junior girls, I think that you'll start seeing more women play with men and start seeing women beat men, because in the JIC, we have a pro-am, and that's men and women combined. And right now, I believe I'm the highest woman, but I'm in 11th place out of like 60 people. So that just shows that women are getting up in the brackets with men. And
that's great.
Yeah.
That's a rosin table behind you. Is that what you play on full time? Yeah,
it's actually the 2017 European practice table from the Moscone Cup.
Wow, that's incredible. How'd you come across that?
It's the owner of the league room. It's Chris Wilson. He had the USA practice table and the European practice table. And so we put in an offer, and he was like, yeah, we can do that for you. So we were lucky enough to get a Rasen.
That's great. They just played on Rasums at the World Games.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Kelly Fisher got the gold.
That was amazing. I loved watching that match.
That was fantastic, yes.
I also watched Joshua Filler play last night.
Yeah.
Great match. He was down too.
Yeah, and then Alexis Yap, he got the bronze against Carlo Beato.
Yeah.
He's really excited. I was talking with him last night on Messenger, and he was like, I finally got one over on him. He was just so happy. But yeah, that's such an honor to be in the World Games.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's a pity they couldn't put it in the same venue, have it the same place as all the rest of the sports, though. You know, it still shows you the pool isn't equal yet, because they have it kind of shunned in a whole nother arena compared to where everything else is occurring. It still hasn't got that equal footing yet.
Right.
You know.
And one thing I also noticed was we couldn't watch the first matches. I had to sit there and watch the live scores. So I'm like on the edge of my chair watching Kelly's score, going, oh, come on, you know. But they every 4 years they have it in a different country or different origin. So, and it is a part of the Olympics. So they're following the Olympic format. But yeah.
Hopefully it's in there.
So tell us a little bit about you, Priscilla. Let's get to know you.
Well, my name is Pricilia Kinsley. My hometown is Roanoke, Virginia. Actually, before I started playing pool, I was in basketball for, it was either 6 or 7 years. And I ended up leaving it behind because I found pool. And when I found pool, I also found a love for the game golf. And that has come side by side with pool. Like everything. It's been, they go together very well. I also have a Great Dane as my pet, and she's just my best friend. She's like 130 pounds and like
big lap dog.
Yes, very much so.
She's taller than you, and she's up on her.
Oh yeah, she is so tall.
My daughter had a Great Dane.
No.
I have a border collie right now, and he's in the background. You can hear his chains, his necklace clinking around a little bit, his collar, and he is so observant. And when I am up playing pool at the table at my house, he tries to jump up and follow the balls in. Yeah, very frustrating.
Stella, don't you have a friend there in Roanoke that's kind of done the same thing with basketball? And started playing pool almost as much as he's playing basketball? Tyler?
Tyler, yeah, you're right, Tyler. Sorry, I was on like the female topic. I was like, are there females? Yeah, Tyler, he's one of my best friends, and he's a big basketball player. He didn't put basketball down, but he's kind of leaned more towards pool, and he's trying to make his way up in the rankings, but he's a big basketball player too.
How long has he been playing?
I think like 8 years now. It's been a really long time for him.
He shoots pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your plans in the next couple of years? You have a lot of tournaments lined up and goals?
Yeah, I have a lot of goals. My shortest term goal is to win a JIC 18U girls, because right now I have 4 third places and nothing more. So I got to get out of that third place. And I would say my midterm goal is to start getting invited to the women's events, because I haven't gotten invited to one yet, but I think as I start to place higher in tournaments and I get my name more out there, that I maybe will get invited and hopefully place high in those tournaments. And my longest goal, like my long-term goal, is to become a full-time professional pool player and start playing with the men and women and hopefully play evenly with the men. So that's probably my biggest goal. And we're still trying to find tournaments for me to go to. I'll make it to all the JICs this year and the BEFs for the next few years. And we're still trying to find more women's tournaments and open tournaments for me to go to.
How are your grades?
My grades are really good. I average A's and B's. This past year, I had a really bad math class, but luckily I'm out of it. And I'm going on to pre-calc.
Right.
Yeah, my grades are really good.
Yeah, you can get Kamui if you keep straight A's.
Oh, wow.
They'll sponsor you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kamui, but you got to do really well in school. That is one of their pet peeves.
One of their criteria.
That's a really good criteria because pool players tend to be so focused on pool that they're like, forget school. I'm just going to play pool all the time. I'm not going to worry about homework. Yeah.
Do you have your cues there with you that we could take a look?
Yeah, I do. Here, they're right beside me.
That was the very next question I was going to ask her. I was going to ask her to tell us what's in her bag or what's in her case.
So I have my playing cue, and it's a black cue by Predator. I actually don't know the numbers on it.
That's pretty.
Yeah, my favorite part is on the black part. It's actually wood. You can't see it on the camera.
It's ebony.
Yes. It's very pretty though.
When you got the sponsorship from Predator, how did that work for picking your cue?
So that's where Premier Billiards came in and was a huge help. Rick is actually a Predator seller. So he's in touch with Predator all the time. And so he was like, so I'm in touch with the rep right now. And she said, just pick out your cues. They'll send them to me. And then you can just come up to Lynchburg and we'll get them to you. And
nice.
So I was like, okay, that works perfect.
Yeah. What else do you have in there?
I have my break cue, which is the sparkling blue BK Rush. It's pretty. And then I have the Air Rush, but it is not out of my bag right now. My bag is right here. I have the Urban case, so.
Oh, you've got a lot of storage then.
Oh yes, so much. But I have the Air Rush. It's the bottom piece.
It's nice.
Yes, it's a very, very expensive and great setup.
What else is in that bag? Do you have any candy that you carry with you? You can snack on? Granola bar. Come on now.
Normally, I keep myself a big old pack of gum, but it'll get old. So.
What do you think is the most difficult part in your age range right now? Because you're in a transitional point where you're transitioning from the junior portions and trying to get out there into the mainstream of it. What do you think is the most difficult part about the transition of that?
I would say, I think the mental game is the most difficult part because I'm so used to playing people that have the same mental mindset as me because I'm playing with the juniors. And then you go to the pro women that have done years of it and they know how to handle certain situations. And so I think my hardest part would be if I get myself in some sort of situation and I don't know how to handle it, trying to keep my cool when the professional women players have done this for years and know how to keep their cool.
Who's your favorite professional player?
I would say
both men and women on both sides.
Do what?
On both sides, men and women.
My favorite women player, it was Jasmine Ocean because I feel like we're very similar with the stay fit and also keep your pool game really high. But as I've watched more pool, I think my favorite right now is Kristina Tkach because she's a young player. She's still getting used to playing with the super pros, but she's so dedicated and she puts in a lot of hours. And she even sends out videos on her Instagram and stuff like that to help out people. So, and my favorite men player, I really like SVB, but I feel like he's kind of like most people's favorite. So I would say my favorite has to be Sky Woodward just because he seems like the most normal person that is also really, really good at pool. And I don't know. I wish he brought his mullet back.
No, not the mullet.
She is from Western. You got to realize where she's at too. You know, that's part of it.
Mark White would have fun with that.
Now, Priscilla, you mentioned your favorite player as a female as being Kristina. Is that who you model your game after now?
Do what? Sorry.
You said Kristina was your favorite player. Is that who you model your game after now?
I sort of do, but I tend to model my game a lot like Joshua Filler, actually, because although he's not my favorite player, he tends to have the most loose, and sometimes he takes risks, but he knows when not to. And so he's also the best in the world right now. But he's very free with his stroke and very precise. And I think just how fast he plays and the choices he takes, the simplicity of his routes help me out a lot, because I tend to, when I play pool, I make it as least simple as I can. So watching Filler play, it helps me simplify the table. So
yeah, I have that same problem. I always try to, it's not intentional, but I always end up taking a lot more risky shots than I have to. And when I started realizing that the pros, they base their run out on percentages, on the highest percentage balls to make, and then going down the line, getting their breakouts, making, making balls on the break. There's a systematic way that they play, and they play the same way every single time.
Exactly.
Who's your toughest competition? Who's your arch rival, your nemesis?
Bethany Tate. Absolutely. We've been going at it for I would say 4 months now. It's just every time we play, it's either hill, or one of us is just a little bit off, and then one of us beats us by a lot, and then next time we play, it's hill. So she is definitely my arch nemesis right now.
How old is she?
She's 5 months younger than me, I think.
Oh, so, that's not bad.
No, it's not a big difference.
What's your most satisfying victory?
I think it might actually be in the BEF. It was the finals of the 16U, and I was playing Bethany Tate, and I ended up beating her, and I was just I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what happened. I was just smiling, and I felt like I was about to cry. I was so happy. But yeah.
So you placed, what was the final place?
In the 16U?
Yeah.
I ended up winning it.
Okay. So you got first?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
And I got 5th, 6th in the 18U girls. So I'm still waiting to maybe get an invite to Worlds, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. So what tournaments are coming up around the corner for you?
So next weekend, I have the JIC in West Virginia. So that's my biggest tournament right now. And I think I may be playing in a one pocket event right after it in West Virginia. But
what is your favorite game?
So I actually just started playing straight pool, and I am really in love with it. It is so much fun. So I think it might be a toss up between straight pool and 9-ball, because those two I feel like there's a lot of thought process that goes behind it. Maybe not so much 9-ball, but straight pool especially.
Yeah, those are on opposite ends of the spectrum as far as difficulty. I think the transitioning from one to the other, there's a bunch of games in between there. Did I hear you say one pocket? Do you like that?
Oh, I really love one pocket. I'm just not the best at it right now, so I'm getting used to it.
It's a difficult game to get a hold of on the table. It's a very psychological game. And I find that you're matching your wits with your opponent to see what is the best way that you can not necessarily piece together a run like you would do, say, an 8-ball and a 9-ball, but to more or less take it step by step by step until you can get to where you need to be.
Yes, exactly.
So, okay, you have tournaments in Virginia this coming weekend, and then what's on down the road?
We're still trying to find more tournaments. It's hard right now because school's starting up.
Right.
So I've got to focus on getting school going, but I have another JIC in September that is actually in August. That's in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to do to qualify in order to become a member of the JIC or the BEF?
So actually for both of them, you can just go in and play.
Okay.
For the JIC, you just have to contact Raw Hannah or Corey Wolford or Trina Wolford and pay there. And for the BEF, you just have to pay online and you're entered into both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I would say for any juniors out there, the JIC is an amazing tournament to go to. You'll find competition, best friends, pretty much a family immediately.
Landon Hollinsworthy, is that how I say his name?
Yeah.
He did quite well at the JIC.
Yeah, he did. He played, I think, like 8 to 12 matches in one day. Wow. From 9 to 12. And I was in disbelief.
That's an endurance right there.
Yeah.
That is a lot of matches in one day.
What do you think is the most like for the endurance portion of it, because we had spoken about that before, and how you try and prepare for that by running before and afterwards? What do you think is the most mentally enduring match that you've had to endure?
It's actually a really good question. It was last year, I think probably exactly at this time. It was in West Virginia at a JIC. And I was playing Haley Marion. I think it was a 2.5-hour match. So
wow.
A really long time. But my adrenaline was pumping the whole entire time. And so afterwards, I just felt exhausted.
Yeah.
But
what do you think is go ahead.
Sorry. It went hill, and we both weren't shooting our best at all. But I made it was the last 2 balls. I made a lockdown safe on her on the 8 and 9. She ended up hitting the 8. And then I got ball in hand and I ran out. And so I felt like I wanted to go to sleep.
What do you think is the strongest part of your game?
Definitely my mental game. Because most times when you watch me play, you'll see that I have no emotion and my face is just like, it kind of looks like I'm going to kill someone, but I'm not.
All right. On that one, what's the weakest part of your game?
I'm not sure actually. A lot of times I have trouble, like when I play friends, this is kind of bad, but when I play friends, if I get lucky, I tend to feel bad because, like, if you get lucky, obviously it's luck and you don't want that to happen. You want it to be skill. And so when I get lucky, my mind alters to, I just got lucky. I shouldn't try so hard on this ball. And as soon as that goes into my mind, I try and knock it out, but it's stuck there. Like, I'm not going to do my best on my next ball. And so if I get lucky, I tend to miss my next ball, and then I get in my head. And so
How much of pool do you think is luck versus skill?
a lot. I would say pool is like, for my skill level right now, I would say pool is like 70% skill and 30% luck.
Mhm.
But I think when you get into the pros, it's more like 90 to 95% skill and like 5 to 10% luck, because they know their way around the table much better than we do.
It's funny how much luckier you become at that level, though, where just the rolls on the table and how, like, I've seen Efren play quite a few matches, and where he doesn't necessarily try for the shots, but he gets lucky. He really does. And he has the greatest expressions about it all.
Yeah, I was watching a one pocket match of him, and he was playing Scott Frost, and he got really lucky, and they just stuck his tongue out, and everyone just started laughing.
Probably everybody but Scott.
Yeah, I've seen some matches of his where he gets all excited and jumps up and down when he does something, and it's really fun to watch him.
It is.
Yes. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to see myself as a world champion. That's my biggest goal. But I also hope to see myself playing with professional women, and like playing Kelly Fisher and Kristina Tkach and April Larson, like on the usual, like that's a normal schedule for me. I would say that's probably where I hope to see myself in 5 years.
It's a good goal. Alrighty. Priscilla, I think we've probably asked you about everything. Is there anything else you would like to add that you want the viewers to know?
I don't think
your
so.
sponsors or anything.
Oh, yes. I do want to say one more thank you to all my sponsors, the Wolfson, Premier Billiards, and Predator, for all that they've done. If you ever need Predator or any type of cues, go to Premier Billiards. They are an amazing site, and they will do you very good.
Alrighty, and with that, thank you so much for joining us today, Priscilla. This has been a great interview.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.